Okay, Dr. Mindy here, and on this video, I am going to go through every drink I can possibly think of that you may entertain drinking in your fasting window. There are some that are like absolute yeses, and some of them that are absolute nos.
Pioneer in the fasting.
Do a long fast one day, your blood sugar going up and down. We're in it together. Okay, I get asked this question a lot. So I decided to pull everything out of my refrigerator that I can possibly find to try to show you what I drink in my fasting window, which is actually surprisingly a lot. Well, I'm going to show you that. And what are like absolute no's. I will not drink those. How about we start with the no's first? So a lot of people think that fasting is just staying away from food. So if you're new to fasting, I just want to tell you that's not the type of fasting that I'm advocating for. I'm advocating for fasting where your blood sugar comes down so that your body can switch over into the fat burning energy system, which means juices are off the list. So I don't care if it's organic, I don't care if it's like a fresh pressed green juice at your local health food market, I don't care if it's orange juice, absolutely no juices off the list for the fasting window. So let's make that really clear right here and right now, because a lot of people ask me, well, what do you think of juice cleanses? And I don't really know. As far as it as a therapy, like a green juice therapy, I can't say it even can give you 1/4 of the therapeutic benefit that going without food can give you. So it might rest your digestion, but juice cleanses in general have such a small benefit compared to what you can do if you keep that blood sugar low and you switch over into the energy metabolism that comes from burning fat. So let's start there. Okay, second thing, I don't have it here because I don't keep it in my house anywhere, and that is soda. Diet soda, regular soda is absolute no. Hopefully you all know that NutraSweet will absolutely raise insulin levels. So even though it might not spike glucose, it can raise insulin and it'll make you more hungry. Sugary soda, I hope it's obvious that that's going to raise your blood sugar. If not, then I want to be the first to tell you that there is nothing good in soda, and I get that a lot of you like it. But when we come to this fasting lifestyle, if you're going to stay with soda, it has to go into your eating window. So those two, juices, sodas, doesn't matter if they're diet, doesn't matter if it's a cold pressed green juice, they're off the table. Okay, the other thing that's off the table in the fasting window, but I know a lot of you like to try it, is wine or alcohol of any kind. Now remember that even though alcohol may not raise your blood sugar, it actually can lower it. It still is stressful on the liver, and it's the liver that makes ketones. So in your fasting window, you will pull yourself out of a fasted state. You will put more stress on your liver if you are drinking alcohol in your fasting time. Now, a lot of people ask me, well, what about if I break a fast with alcohol? Same thing. Remember that you've made this metabolic switch over into the fat burning system. And when you drink alcohol when you're operating from that system, it's very stressful on the liver. So get yourself back into the sugar burning system first, and then go ahead and have your glass if that's what you choose to do. And of course, hopefully you always know that I am a fan of clean alcohol. I'm a fan of dry farm wines. We'll put all the links in the notes here for you for that. So those are kind of the big no's. Now, let's talk about the absolute yeses, and then I'm going to talk about the maybes. Okay, so here are the yeses. For starters, mineral water. I love mineral water. Gerolsteiner is one of my favorite because it has the most amount of minerals in it, and you gotta add minerals back in when you're fasting. So absolute mineral water is fine. LaCroix, I know you're all gonna ask me like, what about Pellegrino, LaCroix, wherever you're from? Yes, as long as it doesn't spike your blood sugar, but I would say it's pretty rare for mineral water to spike your blood sugar. So that's a yes. Okay, second thing, regular water. Yeah, of course. Now, I will tell you, in my community, in our Reset Academy, we've been really experimenting with different things in the fasting window to kill hunger. And my new favorite is hydrogen water. So this is actually a glass of hydrogen water. The last 3-day water fast I went on, all I drank is hydrogen water, and it absolutely killed my hunger because it feeds the bacteria in your gut. So when those bacteria are fed, oftentimes you don't get hunger signals. So again, I will leave links for all of this in the notes. But hydrogen water is can be an absolute savior for those of you going into these longer fasts if you want to kill hunger. Another hunger killer, and I want to highlight, and I've highlighted before, is Yerba Mate Tea. So there's great evidence showing that Yerba Mate can help us get into that fat burning system quicker, that it can help with hunger in a fasting window. So it's pretty cool. But it's, a lot of times I'll go and I'll grab some Yerba Mate tea, or in the winter time, I'll actually make a hot Yerba Mate tea. This is my favorite from our local vendor. Again, they ship, I don't know, they don't ship worldwide, but Voodoo Woman, best Yerba Mate tea ever by Cosmic Coffee Company. So I will leave links for that. But if you're in a longer fast and you're just getting kind of bored and you want a little something extra, this is when Yerba Mate tea can come in handy. Okay, another one, and again, some of these are local to me, but if you stop and think about them, you have them near you too, or you can make them yourself. So my other favorite thing is ginger juice. Now this is not sweetened, this is fresh pressed ginger and lemon. It does not raise my blood sugar. If you can make that at home in your fasting window, I'm pretty sure it won't raise your blood sugar too. One of the things that we love about ginger is it is a bitter, and bitters can help the liver. So it can actually assist you in getting over to the fat burning system and priming that system. So often I will drink this throughout my morning in my fasted state, and it can help me not only with hunger, but it really nourishes that liver so that it can do better at making ketones. So that's ginger juice. Okay, then some of my tried and true go-tos. So Element minerals, you all hopefully know that I'm a huge fan of Element. This goes in a jug of water with me everywhere I go. I also will mix this with some aminos. This was just one amino that I had here, powdered aminos. But hopefully you all know that I like perfect aminos. You can go to Revelation Health. Again, all the links will be there. I'll combine amino acids with minerals and drink that all morning long, especially if I'm not going to do the ginger juice or I'm not going to do the Yerba Mate tea. So those are go-tos. Let me just recap that middle go-to before I go to the maybes. So that was mineral water, that was hydrogen water, that was Element minerals going in with a little bit of flavor, that was perfect aminos, that was Yerba Mate tea, and that was also ginger juice and lemon juice with no sweetener. That's a lot of options if you stop and you think about it. So that's why I wanted to bring this out to you. Oh, also, shoot, I didn't bring it out. Coffee. I'm going to do a whole video on coffee, but coffee with MCT oil is a beautiful way to move you into that fat burning system. So that's also a possibility for you. So know that. Okay. Now I'm going to show you the maybes. And after that, I'm going to show you one of my favorite hacks when I'm in a fasting window and my brain is getting a little fuzzy. I'm going to show you the hack I use to be able to sharpen it up, especially before like a podcast interview or something like that. So the maybes. Okay, you guys know, hopefully, that I love Organifi. They have great products. And many of these, like Pure, is great for mental cognition, and it does well when I look at it on my glucose monitor. It doesn't take me out of a fasted state, but I can't guarantee that's going to happen to you, so I would test it on your blood to make sure that you know if it's going to pull you out of a fasted state. I'll talk in a moment about how you go about testing that. But these are some of my favorite, and the green juice, the red juice, and the Pure. Now, you may have your own brand. I'm just sharing with you what I like. And with some of these powdered drinks will pull you out of a fasted state. Maybe, maybe not. You have to test it on your blood sugar. And here's how you test it. You take a blood sugar reading and then you drink the drink, and then an hour later you take another blood sugar reading. Are those two readings the same? If they are, then it's kept you in a fasted state. If it drops a little bit, then it's pulled you out. So you're gonna have to test it on if it raises a little bit, it's pulled you out. And a little bit to me is 5 to 10 points higher than the original reading. But if it drops, it's even better. Stays the same, drops, then you're golden. If it raises it more than 5 points, you might wanna have it in your eating window. So I love green juice, especially because it helps me get in more fiber and more of the antioxidants that greens can offer. It can help me with that. And sometimes it works in my fasting window, but I always test it on my blood sugar. Okay, then what else do I have over here? Okay, what about things like collagen powder and bone broth? Okay, these are both some of my favorite. I do not do collagen in my fasting window because it normally pulls me out of autophagy and it tends to spike my blood sugar. So this has actually been my go-to for breaking a fast. So I no longer put collagen powder in my coffee. I use it in a shake to actually break my fast. And in that shake, I'll often combine both of these. Paleo Valley's grass-fed bone broth protein powder is my favorite. I love to combine these two in a yummy shake along with, shoot, I didn't bring it out here, Perfect Aminos has a chocolate amino powder, and I put these three together as a break fast. So they don't go in my eating window, they start to help me, or in my fasting window, they transition me out of that into the eating window. So remember, there's the fasting window, and then there's the break fast, and then there's the eating window. So I look at that break fast as your transition, and what you do in that is really important. So this would be in the transition window. Okay, last hack. This is one of my favorite. So this is a new one that I'm doing. I don't recommend you do it all the time, but right before a podcast, when I'm about maybe 15 hours into a fasting window and I'm starting to get some ketones, but I want to push through maybe to a 20-hour fast, I will do a little exogenous ketones mixed with some perfect aminos, just a little bit. And the reason for that is perfect aminos help to make neurotransmitters. So it lifts your mood, lifts your mental clarity, and a little bit of exogenous ketones moves you deeper into that ketogenic state where the brain is in massive clarity and it can function at its best. Now, I don't do this all the time. Because the more you supplement with exogenous ketones often makes it more difficult to be able to get into ketosis later. We want to use your own internal chemistry. So, but maybe 3 days a week, I might do this, especially before several interviews that are lined up. But that's one of my favorite hacks, is a little bit of exogenous ketones supercharged with some perfect aminos. Some days I might even put a little bit of pure in if it's testing okay with my blood sugar. But that's a lot. I mean, it's funny when you think about drinks, like there's a lot to think about. When we look at fasting, the best thing is just drink water. That's the best. If you want to have some coffee, just test it on your blood sugar, make sure it's clean. And then when it becomes a function of boredom and you're just needing a little bit more, remember that you can add in some of those absolute yes that I talked about in the middle of this video. So as always, I hope that helps. Now remember, Fast Like a Girl is ready for pre-order, and you can also win a free Dutch test. That's amazing. So I'm really excited to give away a few Dutch tests and really help you all understand your hormones better. So as always, I hope that helps.